So in Chandler and Phoenix Metro, this is typically the time of the year where we start to see the market pick up. It's a little bit easier to sell your home, and if you're buying a home, the market's usually a little bit more competitive for you. But that's actually not what we're seeing this year. So should we be worried? And if you are planning on buying or selling this year, 2025, what does this mean for you? I'm Courtney Strolzik. I'm a local real estate agent here, and I give market updates every month for Chandler and other cities. So please subscribe. It does help me out a lot. And I'm going to do my best to give this market update as straight as possible. I know a lot of times, agents can be guilty of trying to sugarcoat things, maybe to make it look more attractive to buy or sell your home. But I'm one of those people, I like it when people are direct with me and transparent and straight up. I'd rather know that, particularly when I'm making a huge purchase like a home. Now, if you've been watching me for some time, you probably already know Chandler is technically the most competitive market or sub-market in the Phoenix metro area. And we can see that by looking at the market index right here. This actually looks at our balance of supply and demand. And historically, for a few years now, Chandler has always been number one. Sometimes it would come down to number two, but pretty quickly it would resume its first place position. But if we look at this chart and we can see all these red arrows here, that shows us that all the markets, not just Chandler, but all the sub markets in the Phoenix metro area, except for two, are softening. And when we say softening, we mean it's becoming more advantageous or more in favor for home buyers out there. Now, again, I don't think I can stress this enough. This isn't for just Chandler. This is something we're seeing across the board. And what is the reason for this? So the first assumption I had was that, interest rates are still really high. We're continuing to hover around 7%. It looks like, from what housing analysts and other economists are saying, that we're going to be staying around that number for some time. So home buyers are probably just waiting. They're not ready to buy a home. But this was actually not the case. We've actually seen a good influx of home buyers coming out to shop for homes and an uptick in mortgage applications. Now, in the years, 2022, 23, we did actually see quite a decline of home buyers or demand, but it looks like people are kind of coming to terms with where interest rates are and that this is a new normal for everyone. So then if demand is going up and there's more home buyers out there, why are we seeing the market slow down? Well, it's because of supply. The number of homes available for sale has also increased, and it's actually increased at a faster rate than the number of home buyers out there. So basically, home buyers have more options out there. And when you have more options, you have more negotiating power. Because always remember this, the strongest negotiator is the one who can easily walk away without a significant consequence. But if you are worried that maybe we're having excessive supply, the builders are overbuilding, that's not necessarily the case. So actually what has happened over the past couple of years, particularly since COVID, we had an extreme shortage of housing. Now, keep in mind, this is very different from the rental market. I know a lot of times when people talk about it, they often join those together. We're talking about just the purchase market. But basically, we were just so low for so many years. We're finally returning to, normal levels or pre-pandemic levels. Now, keep in mind, even though our market is slowing down, which is not typical to see this time of year, we're still typically a seller's market, meaning that the sellers do have the upper hand in Chandler. Now, it's definitely a softer market than what we saw in the past couple of years, or a softer seller's market. We are seeing homes stay on the market for a little bit longer period of time. Right now, for days on market, it's about 54 days, and that's from when you first list your house to when you actually close or sell your home. Now, keep in mind, this is median days on market, so your home could sit for a longer period of time. The homes that we tend to see sell the fastest are the single family homes, particularly on the more north side of Chandler, think north of the 202, that's definitely a more competitive market. So pricing and condition are also two things that are greatly going to impact how quickly you sell your home. And I will be completely honest, if you need to sell your home, this is not the time to test out pricing and maybe price it on a little higher end just to see what will happen. Because ultimately what will happen is, home buyers right now, they're taking a little bit more time to purchase a home because they have more options. They don't feel that urgency that they did a couple of years ago. So they're going home, they're sitting on their couches, and they're scrolling through Zillow every night. I can tell you every single one of my clients right now is doing this, and they are smart. They understand what's going on in the market. They understand pricing of neighborhoods, and they can spot very quickly when a house is overpriced. They're not going to come tour your home. They're going to go to your neighbor Bob's house that is priced right on the mark. Now, if you really don't need to sell your home and you're just seeing what's going to happen, maybe you're just posting your home for shits and giggles, do whatever you want. But if you really need to sell your home, I would really, really be cautious about overpricing it, because what's happening is these homes are staying on the market for a really, really long period of time. They're doing several price reductions. They can't get any offers, so they end up selling their home for a lot lower than they originally would have if they just listed the home at market value from the get-go. Now, another thing that is for sure going to make your home sit on the market for a longer period of time is if you're posting it or you're listing it as is condition. This is the problem right now. Unless your home is truly turnkey, it's fully remodeled, there's no issues whatsoever, it's in, a competitive type of home, maybe a single family home in North Chandler, that's with a pool, whatever it is, a highly sought after home, you could maybe get away with that. But if it's not a perfect, pristine house and you're listing it as is, you're going to either A, get a lot of wholesalers or investors lowballing you, or two, which is even worse, is you won't get any activity. No one will show up. No one will put in an offer in. And then your home is going to sit for an extended period of time. Now, don't get me wrong. Your house doesn't need to look like the Taj Mahal to sell, but it does need to be functional, comfortable, and clean. Now, if you're buying a home, this is your time to shine because you are gaining more negotiating power. And the good news is we're still seeing a lot of seller concessions. Last month, 41% of home sales had some sort of seller concession, and the average was $9,000. So for a lot of these homes, that was actually enough to do a 2-1 rate buy down. Now, there's a lot of different ways that you can use those seller concessions to just make sure you're keeping more money in your pocket. I'd be happy to talk about it. Just reach out if you have further questions. Now, typically our busiest months or our most competitive months are usually, April, May timeline, and then things stay pretty flat. So we'll see what happens. I will keep you posted, and please hit that subscribe button. Have a great day.